The price of gold is going up. There's still a lot of room for growth. It's already up 42% for the year. The $5,000 target that Goldman Sachs is aiming for doesn't appear out of reach. Actually, gold has the potential to outperform all other assets this year. We will discuss this matter and more. Then, let's begin. Much obliged for your time. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Gold futures are what we're examining here. The current price per ounce is $3,789. Despite a peak of 3,814, they are up nearly 42% for the year. Therefore, we are merely below the all-time high, but one might argue that gold is performing really well. To continue with the topic of gold's record high, Bar Chart announced earlier this month on X that the precious metal had surpassed its 45-year inflation-adjusted peak. Well done, everyone. It was done. Not only is the price of gold at a record high, but when you factor in inflation, it reaches a level that has never been before. Here we are utilizing the most up-to-date measures of inflation, but what if we revert to the 1980s? This data comes from Shadow Stats and shows the inflation-adjusted price of gold using the 1980 CPI formula. Nonetheless, the all-time high using this metric is approximately $9,300 per ounce. Clearly, we have not even come close to that amount. Yet, what must gold accomplish to reach that mark? Central banks' continued net purchases of gold over the past 15 years are one of the key factors driving up prices today. This trend shows no signs of abating. An intriguing finding was made in the World Gold Council's Central Bank Gold Reserves Survey 2025. Gold is still seen by central banks as a promising investment. Nearly all respondents, 95%, anticipate an increase in global central banks' gold reserves in the coming 12 months. Central banks will continue to purchase gold for at least 3 more years, according to Goldman Sachs. We estimate that it would take around 3 years for China, the largest official buyer, to acquire a 20% gold share if they maintained their present average rate of 40 tons per month and were seeking an allocation of 20%. But 20% might not be adequate, you know. The optimal amount of gold to hold is 30%, according to Bank of America, and 30% is the number that Poland has now increased its objective to. On this graph, we can observe the various efficiencies according to the amount of gold held by the central bank. Clearly, 30% represents highest efficiency. Thus, it's possible that central banks, such as China's, will have to purchase far more gold. In order to be named the top performing asset of the year, how much higher does gold have to go? Not much higher than it is right now, actually. Gold prices could surpass $4,000 by the end of 2025, according to a report from Deutsche Bank, analysts published on Monday. This would indicate a full-year return of almost 50%. If the price of gold were to rise by that much, it would be the best performing asset of the year. The price of gold is almost there, at about $3,800 an ounce. And as Goldman Sachs has warned, things will go crazy if gold prices hit $5,000. This week, a prominent investment bank analyst predicted that the price of gold might reach $5,000 per ounce. The expert went on to say that this price increase would be possible if just 1% of the privately held US Treasury market switched to gold. Its current pricing is 42% lower than that. This amounts to less than 1% of the privately held US Treasury market. Central bank buying is unrelated to this. The gold price could go this high if we wanted to. Who knows how much higher gold may go if it is added to what central banks are already doing. The market is obviously going up. consider the Gold Miners ETF GDX or the VanEck Gold Miners Index. The year-to-date increase is already 111%. The Junior Gold Miners stock GDXJ has increased by 114%. And brace yourselves for the major event. The microsector Gold Miners 3x leveraged ETN, or GDXU, has increased in value by 521%. Alright, this is really crazy. You may see that gold is doing better than tech equities when compared to the Nasdaq, which has only increased by 16.8% this year. Additionally, I am analyzing a potential US-based exploration and development possibility, including gold and copper, as a result of the recent tremendous upswing in the price of precious metals. This video was sponsored by them. The Nasdaq trading symbol for US gold mining, Inc., is USGO. For Trump's administration, Alaska has been a crucial state. The governor of really went to see a gold mine and its estimated mineral resources in the United States. Actually, the major population center of Anchorage is not far from Whistler, the nearest big, underdeveloped exploration project for gold and copper. Unleashing Alaska's extraordinary resource potential was another executive order that Trump released on the first day of his presidency. That was on the first day. Immediate actions to enhance. American mineral production was the name of the subsequent second executive order issued by the government. Domestic mineral production, particularly that of copper and gold, is to be expedited to the fullest extent feasible in accordance with the executive directive. The state level of support is far more robust than the federal level. While in the United States, Alaska Governor Mike Dunleavy saw a gold mining operation firsthand. He is an outspoken supporter of mining as a means to boost the economy and build infrastructure in his state. Not only has the governor given his stamp of approval, but U.S. Senator Lisa Murkowski has also paid a visit to the site. The U.S. gold mining company went public on the Nasdaq in April 2023 with a $10 share price. The stock was symbolized as USGO. Just under $2,000 an ounce was the price of gold. A troy ounce of gold is now worth more than $3,700. You got this. The indicated mineral resource estimate for the Whistler project is 6.48 million ounces of gold equivalent, based on 294 million tons at 0.68 grams per ton gold equivalent. The inferred mineral resource estimate is 4.16 million ounces of gold equivalent, based on 198 million tons at 0.65 grams per ton gold equivalent. For more details about the project and the mineral resource estimate, you can take a look at the most recent annual report on Form 10-K from US Gold Mining, which includes a technical report summary. I also think it's noteworthy because the company has a rather unusual ownership structure. Check it out. The parent business owns 78% of the shares that are currently issued. There is a single shareholder who owns 78% of the shares, with management and insiders owning the remaining 4.50%. As a result, there is a large concentration of ownership, above 80%. Seeing this is just what brings me joy. In my opinion, a critical catalyst has just begun. To start, the Federal Reserve has started its historic cycle of rate cuts. Additionally, the price of gold has never been higher. Thirdly, President Trump has signed 2 executive orders pertaining to Alaska, and the state is planning a road network to link the Whistler project to Anchorage. Additionally, one of the most significant events for the company since its start is currently underway. In the United States, gold miners have started what is formally called a Preliminary Economic Assessment, PEA. With gold above $3,700 and copper around $4.50 per pound, the timing of this study, which is an initial assessment of economic issues, is ideal. Investigate US gold mining on your own. The company trades under the NASDAQ ticker symbol USGO. While you're at it, peruse US Gold Mining's SEC filings and annual report. I am interested in your thoughts on the future of gold, because it has been performing really well as of late. Please tell me in the comments area. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch, and I'll see you in my future video. Exiting Silver Dragons. This was transcribed using turboscribe.ai. Remove this message by subscribing to Unlimited.